In the heart of the Himalayas, nestled among the silent giants, stood a peak called Trishul Fang. Tall, sharp, and almost impossible to climb. Many had tried, most had failed. It was not the height that terrified them, but the way the mountain pushed climbers back, almost as if it chose who deserved its summit. Among those dreamers was a young climber named Aarav, 27, lean, determined, and quietly fierce. He came from a humble background, a small village where winters were long and dreams were often sacrificed for survival. But from the age of 10, after seeing a documentary about mountaineers, Aarav had only one dream: to conquer Trishul Fang. His father, a local farmer, had once said, "We are not made to climb mountains, son. We grow roots, not wings." But Aarav only smiled and replied, "Some roots become ropes that pull us upward." After years of training, saving money, doing odd jobs, and climbing smaller peaks, the day finally came. Aarav stood at the base camp of Trishul Fang, staring up at the icy monster with a heart full of fire. With him were 4 other climbers: Ria, an experienced mountaineer from Nepal; Jordan, a cheerful American with a bad knee but a good heart; Iqbal, a silent, mysterious man from Pakistan; and Emma, a 22-year-old climber from Ireland, chasing her late father's dream. The climb began. Deponer 4. The rise. The first few days were tough but manageable. The group bonded over fireless dinners, shared stories, and laughter that echoed across ice walls. On day 5, a snowstorm hit. Temperatures dropped, visibility became 0, and they were forced to dig trenches and camp in a narrow crevice. Jordan injured his ankle and the group debated going back. But Aarav whispered to the mountain, "Not yet." Emma offered to stay behind with Jordan at Camp 3, while the remaining 3 continued: Aarav, Ria, and Iqbal. Day 6. The fall. Just 600 meters from the summit, the path narrowed. The ice was fragile, one wrong step, and it could all be over. As they edged along a ridge, a piece of ice cracked beneath Aarav's foot. He slipped. For a moment, it felt like time froze. He grabbed a loose rope, but the force pulled Iqbal off balance too. Ria screamed. The rope snapped. Aarav fell. He tumbled 50 feet down the icy slope, crashing onto rocks, rolling into a crevice. Then everything went black. Dojaforn. Lost. When he opened his eyes, everything hurt. His left leg was broken, ribs cracked, and frostbite had started kissing his fingers. His voice was hoarse, but he managed a weak shout. No one came. Hours turned into a day. Snow fell. The cold bit deeper. His mind wandered. Memories of his mother cooking warm rotis, his father's last hug, his promise to reach the summit. Tears froze on his cheeks. Is this how it ends? He thought. But then he heard a voice, his own. You didn't climb all this way to die in silence. Using an ice axe as a crutch and pure will as fuel, Aarav began dragging himself, inches at a time. Crawl, pause, breathe, crawl again. Day 9. The choice. After 2 nights alone in sub-zero temperatures, a faint light appeared. It was Emma and Jordan. They had refused to leave. Against all odds, they had come looking. Aarav passed out in Emma's arms, whispering, I didn't reach the top. 2 years later, the return Aarav survived, but it came with cost. 2 fingers were amputated due to frostbite, and he walked with a limp. Sponsors backed out. Friends said he had done enough. You escaped death, they said. Be thankful. But mountains don't leave your heart so easily. In 2024, exactly 2 years after the fall, Aarav stood again at the base of Trishul Fang, alone, no team, just his crutches, modified gear, and unbroken spirit. Locals called him mad, but this time, the mountain didn't push him back. Step by painful step, scream by scream, Aarav climbed. The pain was beyond imagination. At times he hallucinated, thinking he saw his younger self climbing beside him. And then, at 6:12 a.m., on a windless morning, Aarav placed the flag of his village on the summit of Trishul Fang. He cried, not because he conquered the mountain, but because he conquered himself. Epilogue. Aarav later opened a climbing school for underprivileged kids, saying, "The mountain didn't break me, the fall didn't end me. In the fall, I found my purpose. Because falling is not failure, refusing to rise again is."